I never knew I could find a guy as great as Onision until I met anyone other than Onision. Then I realized that Onision was kind of insane. Yeah, there's something not right about that guy. Everyone around me warned me not to watch Onision. They said he brainwashed me into loving Onision. But all of those people mysteriously disappeared. Now I don't remember what they said. Onision's videos are the best in the world. If everyone else was dead, it's Onision, not Onisha, not Onsion, not Onion Son. His name is James, not Greg or Grego. Stop calling him Gurgorg or freaking Gaggles. Onision, not Omnisha, not Onisa, not Creep or Groomer. Whatever you heard bad is always just a rumor. He's Onision, your neighborhood friendly Onision. He's your best friend if he's the only friend you got. If you had more friends, they would be much better. But Onision is always the best. If there's no competition, no competition, no competition, no competition, no competition. Enjoy the show.
I remember I reached out to him quite quickly. He was easy to email. He always put his information right there under every video.
So what you just saw there was Shiloh contacting me for the first time. A popular lie online is that I ever encountered Shiloh before she was 17 and a half. The email they posted in the Discovery Plus documentary series points out that the first time she contacted me was literally when she was 17 and a half. In Washington, the age of consent is 16, so you would think there would be no problem. And in Canada, where she was from, it's also 16. So again, 17 and a half with someone who's 7 years older than her, that's what the outrage is over. Someone who's like 7 years older than someone who's 17 and a half dating legally. And Discovery just confirmed that she was in fact that, as if you look up her birth date, April 25, 1993. December 2nd, 2010, birth date, April 25, 1993. So everyone who says that Onision was ever with Shiloh before she was 17 and a half is a blatant stone cold liar. People were stupid enough to put the actual emails in their documentary proving my case.
I felt comforted. I felt like I had a friend.
I love you.
I was 17 by the time he said that he loved me and he was getting a divorce. He was 25.
Okay, so she says she's 17 by the time that I said I loved her, implying that she wasn't 17 when she first spoke to me. So right here, a less blurred out version of the other email you saw. She says, I'm hoping that the subject of this email got your attention. I just wanted to say a big thank you. Okay, so this is obviously the first email she ever wrote to me. She said, I literally almost killed myself the other day. I hope you're keeping a something straight. I don't know. I saw I'm a banana on TV. Obviously, this is the first email she ever sends me. And it says, on Thursday, December 2nd, 2010. Yet this woman actually has the nerve to say,
I was 17 by the time he said that he loved me and he was getting a divorce.
I was 17 by the time he said he loved me. This is implied slander. As you can see right in front of you, the same email they used in the documentary, ironically proving my case and not theirs. Also, this is the email, right, that they feature. As you notice, it looks like we had a conversation before, right? But you don't see like initial contact, except you do see an extremely blurred out email here, so I guess they don't want anyone to see what she actually said. So my question is, Discovery, if you are blatantly leaving out the first email, are you not intentionally omitting facts for the sake of aiding and abetting a profitable but undeniably slanderous agenda?
Hours later, I get a call from a Washington state number, and there's Onision.
Do you not understand why you're a piece of shit?
You're really enjoying this.
I am, actually. I'm enjoying seeing a scumbag get his ass handed to him.
At that moment, I realized...
This guy just said he got a phone call. Okay, so here's what happened. It was an actual live stream. I don't know why he's talking about phone calls. Maybe he's talking about Skype or something. It was a live stream. So this guy can cherry pick what he wants to include. But there was a reason I was calling him a scumbag. Listen to this. You're talking about people who were violated as children, and you're like, do you think they'd want to talk to me? Fucker. Like, you're a scumbag. Why would they want to talk to you? What do they have possibly to gain out of reliving horrible shit their child molester dad put them through? You piece of shit.
Okay.
That's a zitty looking ridiculous shirt wearing, oh my God, what shirt is that? It just leaves out that he was trying to have people who were molested or raped relive what they went through at the hands of my father. He leaves that fact out and tries to intentionally gaslight me, making me look like the irrational one when he's the one who is trying to make victims relive horrible experiences so he could make more money. This guy is a certified scumbag. This guy, the executive producer and consultant on Onision in real life. As of today, I'm no longer an employee of Newsweek. Shortly after, he had this interview with me where he tries to get me to get people who were victims of rape, molestation, to interview with him so he could make a pretty penny. Victims of Randy, who he now is featured in a documentary with. Corruption to its core. And the slander here is the gaslighting, where they intentionally leave out what the interview was actually about.
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online and they just showed up to my house. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Okay, and do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
Oh wow, look, no trespassing sign right here. So Discovery Plus is now openly showing Chris Hansen violate Washington state law by trespassing onto my property. He knows very well he's not welcome on my property, yet he is filming himself commit a crime. Look at him just walk by it like it doesn't even matter. Punishable by either 90 days in jail or a $1,000 fine for misdemeanor, up to a year in jail, $5,000 fine. So Chris Hansen. And who is that behind him? Okay, the dude right here, just to the right of him, your left, his right, is named Mike Morse. He's a man who's gone to court for sexual assault and or harassment of women. They actually took him to court for that. Here he is, a very well-reviewed personal injury attorney from Southfield, Michigan. Court reinstates sex assault lawsuits against Mike Morse. This is 2019, before Hansen came anywhere near me. 5th sexual assault complaint filed against attorney Mike Morse. Now you might think, oh, this article up here, there was an accuser that lied under oath, according to this article. And yet down here we have 5 women coming forward.
And I'm not denying anything. I believe I'm telling you I don't know. I want you to know that it made me feel really bad. It did, because I'm not, you know what I mean? It did. I don't. You made me feel like a whore, like you just thought you could just do that to me.
All right, as you can see here, it says Mike Morse confessed to groping women. As you heard from that tape, he's apologizing and admitting to what he did. And that is the man that Chris Hansen brought to my house, ignoring no trespassing signs. When he came up and knocked on my door, my family was inside. A small child and my significant other were all inside being terrorized by this creepy old pathetic prick who brought a sexual groper who had been taken to court for violating multiple women. He brought that man to my house and he got the cops called on him. The cops showed up and they told him that he had to leave. In what way could you possibly side with the corrupt, disgusting old creep Chris Hansen, who broke Washington state law without any doubt whatsoever?
Is there anything you want to tell me?
He's hurt these people, and that's just not right.
All right, allegedly that's my father saying that I've hurt people and it's just not right, but he wouldn't know. So why are they using him as a witness? Because I haven't spoken to him since I was 19. Here's this article that my father partook in. Here he is saying he can't remember the last time he spoke with me. And here he says the last time he spoke, Greg was assigned to Korea. Okay? Just PSA, not a great look contradicting yourself in the same article so blatantly. So if the last time he spoke, I was assigned to a Korea. When was I discharged? You go to onision.com, you click on Air Force, scroll to the bottom, click on this. It's my discharge papers. And right here it says effective date 31 October 2008. So it's fair to say I haven't spoken to my father since at least before 2008. And when did the Shiloh thing go down? Right here. First time I ever spoke to Shiloh. All right, there you have it. Proof when Onision first spoke to Shiloh. That would be December 2nd, 2010. Okay, so it says Randy Daniels says he's hurt these people and it's just not right. You're talking about Shiloh, who I didn't even encounter till December of 2010. So how could he possibly be a helpful voice in all this? This is, again, Discovery presenting slander as if it's like a real thing, because you're portraying Randy Daniel a witness when he didn't witness anything. And that's just a fact. You can't present someone as if they witnessed something when they haven't even seen that person since they were 19 years old. I was 19 the last time I talked to this clown.
We tried to keep our distance because of this kid being so toxic.
Okay, there's another lie. We tried to keep our distance, right? If they're implying their distance from me, here's the lie exposed. Last time I spoke, Greg was assigned to Korea. Scroll down.
The switch flipped and all our calls and we can't get a hold of him anymore. Sounds like through your own admission, I'm the one who cut ties with you. So let's not act like you made that choice. In fact, you tried to reach out to me on LinkedIn some time ago. It'd be nice if Discovery Plus would stop sharing slander.
Because of this kid being so toxic, and you just keep praying for this kid and hoping for the best for him.
Those are directly contradictory statements. You're on a Discovery Plus documentary trying to convince the world wrongfully through lies that your son is a monster, and you're trying to say you're praying for me and that you hope for the best. If you hope for the best, you wouldn't be doing this. The guy doesn't even hear the BS coming out of his own mouth. I didn't have to prove this as a lie because everyone with common sense knows you don't say you hope for the best and then try to publicly humiliate someone and ruin their life publicly. I don't hope for the best for you, Randy Daniel. In fact, I hope you go to jail for molesting your own family, both adult and child. Why do none of your 3 children talk to you? I just want to point that out. This guy's playing like he's a good guy. Why do none of your 3 kids talk to you? He knows damn well his kids don't talk to him, and nobody's asking that question. This guy's a monster. Otherwise, at least one of his kids would talk to him, but we all hate him. Why do all 3 of your adult kids who have the ability to make the decision for themselves not talk to you? And you want proof that none of his 3 kids talk to him, proving that he's a piece of crap? Well, here's him admitting he lost his entire family.
And I ended up losing my family. It's one of my greatest regrets in life. He was everybody's favorite person to be around.
It's not even true. There's no way that can be true. You can't be everybody's favorite person to be around. This guy will just say things because they sound nice, not because they're actually true. That's the problem with the man.
I will be the first to admit that I really was not very present and engaged. Worked way too many hours.
Again, that's not true. He was actually unemployed for an entire summer, and his wife was shaming him for not having a job. He used to work for the Dayton Chamber of Commerce in Ohio, and there was an entire summer. He was just doing nothing. He was just lounging around. So on the way he's saying he worked too hard, we literally just visited him in the summers, and he moved to Ohio so he didn't have to pay child support, as their child support laws are apparently different according to my mom. He was backed up $12,000 in debt to child support. This guy's a scumbag, bro.
Started calling Debbie, my wife, names.
Wait a minute. This wasn't included in the original article that you had. You guys just showed a clip of something that's kind of proves my point. He said, on the trip to Nashville, I was listening to my music. I had it up really, really loud, right? Even though I said I was listening on my headphones, implying that he thinks I wasn't listening on my headphones. All right, so here's a CD player that they feature in this documentary. Obviously, there's no speaker except for the headphone jack. So this directly contradicts what he said here, where he said, even though he said he's listening to it on his headphones. I didn't have to say I'm listening to it on my headphones because everyone knows the configuration of these players. They don't come with speakers typically. So what else would I be listening to them on? Your story is really, really bad and completely out of touch with reality.
He started calling Debbie, my wife, names.
This is what's confusing, is you say there, he started calling Debbie, my wife, names, but here you completely don't mention that whatsoever. You say you stopped, turned around and said, Greg, turn your music down, it's way too loud. You literally nowhere in here do you include me saying anyone is anything. Yet now you're adding information that was critical to your story, possibly because I already proved my story over and over and over again in numerous ways, and now you're having to change your story to fit mine.
I probably felt like choking him.
I probably felt like choking my own son. Sorry, that's just so comically disgusting. My father saying, I felt like choking my own son. He just admitted to it. What a psycho.
Turned around in exasperation and was shaking him and trying to take off the headphones.
Wait, what? He just admitted to shaking me? If you're shaking someone, they can fight you. Oh my God, look at this story here. He says, during a road trip to Nashville, he was listening to music, had it up very, very loud, even though I said he's listening to his headphones. Randy said, Greg, please turn your music down. He wouldn't do it, so I pulled off to an exit. I stopped, turned around and said, Greg, turn your music down. It's way too loud. That's when he went off. He started screaming and was just gonna bolt. He was gonna leave, and so I turned around, unbuckled my seatbelt, tried to reach back, grab his shoulders to keep him from leaving. He doesn't say I was shaking him. When people lie, their stories change. This dude, oh my God.
Saying, Greg, what is wrong with you? Just listen.
Again, he doesn't say he said, Greg, what is wrong with you? Just listen. So where is this new information coming from?
I turned around in exasperation and was shaking him and trying to take off the headphones.
I want you to think about that, okay? He's saying that he turned around and he was shaking me. In order to do that, he would actually have to physically be on top of me through the center console in the middle of the car. So he admits that he's through the middle of the car. And yet here he's saying Debbie was trying to untie his shoes and he was kicking at me. He broke my glasses. How could I possibly be kicking at him if she was trying to untie my shoes? And how is she trying to untie my shoes if you're blocking the center console completely with your whole fat body?
The accusation that Randy had tried to choke him, and it's like, what? is he talking about?
He just admitted to shaking me, which didn't happen, but shaking and choking, those are both hostile acts. You guys don't realize that you just admitted to assaulting me. Shaking someone is assault. If I walked up to a random person on the street and started shaking them, I would go to jail for assaulting someone. You can't just shake people. So if someone feels threatened, they have a right to defend themselves. You guys just admitted to physically assaulting your own son, and it was actually choking, but I mean, if you're going to admit to shaking me, that's good too.
To 2 years probation and mandatory counseling. They don't do that if there wasn't a real problem, an underlying problem.
Okay, so it says, after the incident, Greg returns to live with his mother. So if I was really under probation, how did I almost immediately return to my mother? The fact that I returned to my mother says that I was never on probation for 2 years. Otherwise, I would be stuck living with you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy's story, I mean... doesn't mention shaking me here, but then says, oh yeah, I did. I was the person to jump back in the car and shake him. First, he just says he gently put his hand on my shoulder. That's initially what he said early on. And then he changed it to that he reached back and grabbed my shoulders, right, to keep me from leaving. And then he just outright admits to shaking me. This guy, such a bad liar. And Discovery Plus happily presents his slander to the world. This dude with the lazy eye, he's the one who wrote this article for Newsweek. His name is Stephen Arch. Mispronunciation intentional. Right here in his Arch article, he published slander saying when James was 17, he came to live with Randy and Deborah. Okay, so he's saying that Randy and Deborah told him that I was 17, right? Arch decided to debate me live. I was at Miamisburg High School in Miamisburg, Ohio. And they rolled the TV in the room, and they showed us all the planes hitting the Twin Towers. So if he wants to say I was 17, that means it happened in 2003. Because I graduated in 2004, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, I mean, we don't know that 9/11 happened that same year. Like, your recollection says so.
So he establishes that I was 17 based on the statements from Randy and Deborah Daniel. Onision myself is saying, no, I was 15. I remember 9/11 happening, etc. Listen to me, Stephen Arch. I'm telling you the truth. Stephen Arch doesn't believe me. Stephen Arch keeps this slanderous article published. And this is how dumb that guy is, right? Look at this document that they included in their documentary. Look at that date right there. September 4th, 2001. Oh! Looks like, once again, Onision tells the truth, and Randall Gray Daniel, accused molester of adult women and accused molester of a child, lied. For a fact, there's no denying it at this point. Court documents from the entire altercation where he said I was 17 prove I was actually 15, just like I told you. Type in Onision birthday, flattering photo, November 11th, 1985. So I was 15. Do the math. Discovery Plus, Discovery ID, publishing the statements of a blatant liar, Randy Daniel. Lazy Eye over here knew damn well Randy Daniel was lying because I literally tweeted him the documents here, including my college transcripts establishing where I was. Look at the date. It's way before this documentary came out. And Thomas is the person who reached out to me about the whole documentary, sending me this contract, which I did not sign because it's awful. And I literally sent Thomas the proof that my father had lied. December 17th, again, way before they released the documentary, showing I sent it to Steve, showing the college records, proving that he lied. And yet they now on the documentary are still willfully and knowingly publishing statements of a proven liar. What was that? That's not the email exchange. They just proposed that that was the email exchange. That's literally not the email exchange. Oh my God. This right here on onision.com/Shiloh was the actual first email. She says, I'm hoping that the subject of this email got your attention. I just wanted to say a big thank you. I literally almost killed myself the other day. And I think she says, I hope you're keeping a straight face. She says, I saw I'm a Banana on TV. I think it was on Ellen. I mean, you can see this is the first time she's ever spoke to me. And all I say back was, glad you're still alive. Keep it that way, because she said she almost killed herself rather than just ignoring them and risk them dying. It was a real I care about human lives move on my part. And yet these people say, Toronto, Canada, and they only say it's 2010. They don't say it's December 2010 because that would debunk Shiloh's bullshit where she claims I ever spoke to her before that first email that I literally proved to you right here. You're looking at it. This is from a video that Shiloh uploaded herself originally of our first email exchange ever, December 2010. And they literally type out this fake email. What is this? That's not the exchange
at all. Convenient they left out the date too.
When me and him first started talking back and forth, he was in Seattle, Washington, and I was in Toronto.
Incorrect. I was in Tacoma, Washington. This woman who's already been proven to literally lie, make up an entire fake baby called Rogue, post a fake picture of someone else's baby saying it's hers. In loving memory of Rogue, rest in peace, little man. This woman who would lie about a premature baby that she actually got in trouble for posting the photo of, trying to be a credible source of information when she doesn't even know where I lived. Here's a receipt from me filing for divorce on December 20th, me paying for all the expenses of the initial divorce process. And at the bottom, you see shipping summary, address, Gregory Daniel, and you see at the bottom, Tacoma, Washington. This is proof that Shiloh just freely spoke a complete untruth about me right there, bro. She either just made a dumb lie or she's actually misinformed. Either way, pretty incompetent.
He loved me and he was getting a divorce. It shocked me, but it was more like a fairy tale that he would do so much and go to such great lengths for just me.
She's saying that she thinks it's a fairy tale, that she's a homewrecker. Oh my God.
I was famous before he was. So,
My girlfriend's a pop star.
I mean, that was kind of the end of my career right there. I stopped touring, I stopped writing, I stopped going to the studio, I stopped doing everything.
That's actually not true. Let's look at Shiloh's career.
But we're gonna die of AIDS, it's all over your face. You're gonna die of AIDS, you're gonna die of AIDS.
Your brother, your sister, your uncle, and your dad. You didn't want protection, they're all gonna be so mad.
You're gonna die of AIDS.
It's like a lot of fun, right? It was hilarious. As you can see here, it says March 1st, 2011. Damon Elliott in the studio with Shiloh.
Let the music get inside ya.
The 18-year-old Abbotsford Dynamo is going for a new sound and new attitude.
Wait. The 18-year-old? 2011? She was dating Onision when that happened. Wait, what did she say again, guys?
I mean, that was kind of the end of my career right there. I stopped touring, I stopped writing, I stopped going to the studio, I stopped doing everything.
Oh my God! This is why you don't lie! She's saying that the end of her career was her dating me, and yet here she is, while dating me, working with Damon Elliott in the studio on Entertainment Canada. March 1st, 2011 is when this specific video went online. Shiloh just stone cold lied to you guys.
I was sitting there, I'm like, dun, 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 dun. And he's like, oh, that's really cool. So that's kind of how we write things.
Wait. She's in 2011 dating me and she's saying that's how she writes things? But I thought she said she didn't write anymore.
I stopped touring, I stopped writing.
Oh. This is why you don't lie, dude. This is why Onision, one of the most honest YouTubers, you don't challenge me because I got the receipts.
You never work a day in your life if you're doing what you love.
That's right.
And I'm definitely doing what I love.
Shiloh, while dating Onision, you're definitely doing what you love? Man, the older Shiloh should meet the younger Shiloh so they can get their story straight. And by the way, just a little icing on the cake. This is Damon Elliott, a number of emails he sent me. In 2018, 6 years after I dumped Shiloh for cheating on me, he says, hey bro, I miss you. Call me. In 2012, right after I dumped Shiloh for cheating on me, he says, what's up, Greg? Hey, Greg, I'd love to do a skit with you again. Damon Elliott, her own music producer, took my side over Shiloh. The guy who knows Shiloh personally described her as evil. And now you know she's not only a proven liar, but the music producer she pretends she never worked with, who she's on camera working with, because she said her career was over so she couldn't have worked with them. That dude's on my side too. Go figure. Here's Damon Elliott apologizing to me after I broke up with Shiloh. And here's Damon Elliott, Shiloh's former music producer, talking to me literally right after the breakup. He said, dude, I'm glad you finally see the truth. We are not perfect, none of us. I am so sorry that Shiloh, cheated on you. And he's apologizing for his own behavior as well. He ensures me that he's an honest person and he wishes me well. Here is an actual flight itinerary down to LA so Shiloh could go to a recording studio on a daily basis.
I stopped touring, I stopped writing, I stopped going to the studio, I stopped doing everything.
And that's why you keep receipts. So when someone tries to do a documentary on you that's purely slanderous, you get to prove that they're full of crap and the pathological liar that you literally dumped them for being. Discovery Plus, you are guilty of publishing confirmed slander. It's beyond denying at this point.
Well, aren't you strange? This case has taken on a life of its own.
Sorry, did they just propose that I Was Drugged was a serious video? Because they didn't give it any context, which means they're now implying a false narrative that the I Was Drugged was an actual thing. Why would they show that clip otherwise without any context? So this is the full context right here of the sketch. If you fast forward, it's all these different shots of it, clearly a YouTube video that's just a joke, making funny faces. Then with my dark humor, here we go, as you see a lot, and literally all dark comedy movies, all dark comedy sketches. And then towards the end, I'm dressed as the Joker and she's dressed as Harley Quinn for the infamous Harley Quinn makeup tutorial where she jokes about me cutting her ear when I really didn't. Yes, folks, that's right. In the video that people were freaking out about, you remember this one? Where the blood's obviously fake? I was dressed as the literal Joker while making the statements I made to her. You didn't get that included, did you? That I was dressed as the Joker when I was doing this. Dressed as the Joker. It's candy corn. We just finished a comedy sketch. So dressed as the Joker, I say the following.
You know this video is never going to be online, right?
Obviously a joke because we literally did put it online right after I said that. I was dressed as the Joker, making a joke.
No one will ever know how much I abuse you. It's ridiculous that you think you'll be successful.
Dressed as the Joker, me telling someone dressed as Harley Quinn that I, the Joker, abuse Harley Quinn. Now roll the bloopers, which completely prove she was not mad at all and she knew it was a joke.
You gonna cry? You gonna cry? You gonna be super sad? You like all my life didn't work out how I wanted?
Pay attention. Exact same background, exact same costumes, exact same event. And this is what happened literally after everyone was talking about abuse happening when it literally didn't. But recent Shiloh doesn't remember younger Shiloh. Some story got made up along the way, didn't it? So when you play I Was Drugged and then you click on it and you show this
LOVG. LOVG.
you click on it and you show this clip, this is all they showed. They just showed this part right here, approaching someone. She's pretending to be drugged.
This case.
Wow. And then it goes to Chris Hansen.
A life of its own.
What did that have to do with anything? A comedy sketch out of context to make it look criminal. Cut to Chris Hansen. You guys are frauds.
Use that fame in such a disturbing way.
Listen, why don't I take you home and get you cleaned up?
And it continues to evolve.
Again, what did that have to do with anything? You're using a comedy sketch of me pretending to be the Joker to portray my actual real-world personality. You guys are frauds and scumbags and liars. Oh my God.
Is he targeting vulnerable?
First of all, the dude to the upper right now hates Hansen, so that's hilarious. He's exchanged countless emails with me about how much he hates Hansen. I mean, as you can see here alone, these are emails from Vincent, who used to work for Hansen. Here he says, just gotta say, Regina is out of her mind. Chris Hansen sold the rights to the Onision story. Here he's apologizing to me for something. Up here he's saying Chris is lying. So that's the guy in the upper right calling the dude right next to him a liar. And then the dude right below, Repsian, let's look him up. Here's a tweet. You gonna make a vid discussing the allegations that you groomed Maya from the age of 12, telling her to return when she was 17? Care to elaborate on how you wrongfully accused a minor of having CP? Do I have to start my own Repsian file? Don't worry, I have the 911 records now. I have no idea what that's about, but the dude's accused of grooming. And here's Repsian telling a 12-year-old to come back when she is of age. The legal age of consent in Washington is 16. Is that what he means by of age? You can't tell a 12-year-old to come back when they're of age. You're not even supposed to be thinking about a 12-year-old that way. You sick pervert. This is Repsian on the documentary with Hansen. So we got an accused groomer down there. And to upper right, we got someone who hates Hansen. And that's the company that Hansen is occupying himself with to take down Onision. Discovery Plus, get your shit together.
The age group most attracted to Onision was mid to late teens.
False. As you can see, I'm on Onision Speaks right now. I have primarily male viewers, and the majority of them are 18 to 24. The second highest number of them are 25 to 34. Third highest are 35 to 44. So why is Hansen saying that primarily young teenage girls are, and it's literally proven right here in front of you that it's primarily men who are primarily adults?
This is basically the R. Kelly of YouTube.
Okay, let's talk about Blair White. Blair White just said this is basically the R. Kelly of YouTube. What did Blair White also say? I've reached out personally family to apologize for the error and have deleted the video. She's talking about slandering someone or, you know, doing something like calling someone the R. Kelly of YouTube.
Blair White has finally apologized for spreading blatant lies about an athlete in her last video.
So this woman is going to say someone is the R. Kelly of YouTube when she literally admits that she's incompetent and can't even get her facts straight.
I do apologize as well. So if we can make this a friendly debate or a civil debate or whatever, that'd be cool.
All right, that was Blair White apologizing to me June 3rd, 2018 for making severe comments about me. She's, for some reason, decided to completely change her position on me and then refer to me as the R. Kelly of YouTube.
I will say, I've said things that are stupid as well. You know, I've been on YouTube for 2 years. I am in the grand scope of things, especially compared to you, very new. And I think early on you get caught up in like making videos and like sometimes you go a little harder than you really mean.
I agree. You do say stupid things and you do go harder than you should. And then you wind up in documentaries where you say things like someone's the R. Kelly of YouTube, you know, obviously contributing to the reckless slander of Discovery Plus.
He finally faced someone who'd been around a long time.
I'm Chris Hansen. Consider the sheer logistics of just getting to the location.
Okay, Chris Hansen, let's talk about your career. Chris and Kristen had been having a dating affair for about 4 months before everyone got wind of what was going on. The affair scandal got more attention than it was expected, which led NBC to fire him. NBC announced they will not be renewing his contract. She says, Chris told me the divorce was inevitable. The wedding ring on his finger was all but for the show. So he's lying to everyone with a fraud marriage. How old are these people again? It says Kristen Cadell was 22 years his junior, which means he had a relationship with a woman with a much bigger age gap than anyone I've ever been with. Talk about a hypocrite. But no, Hansen, let's talk about what a great career you have. Well, here's an awkward mugshot. Here's this respectable journalist in police custody. People who donated to his campaign said they never received their promised perks, so he was scamming people out of what they paid for. Bought a Corvette, defaulted on the payments. House got foreclosed on. Records show his house is now owned by the bank. They're asking, you want to join a class action lawsuit against Chris? Chris Hansen got evicted in New York City. Owes $250,000 in taxes. $60,000 to American Express. $125,000 to the bank. Again, the mortgage. Here's some documents to prove exactly what's being said. And this is the doofus that Discovery Plus let on their show to slander me. If you've been paying attention, it should be humiliating. His show resulting in someone's death. He has actual blood on his hands. Chris Hansen's bitter ex-mistress gets out at double standards as she hasn't gotten work since their affair. Kristen says news stations are put off by negative publicity thanks to Chris Hansen, who has no problem getting a job, right? Discovery Plus. Apparently Chris Hansen is a known liar. Apparently Chris Hansen doesn't mind sending people inappropriate photos of himself. Apparently, Chris Hansen cheated on his wife with a Vegas stripper. He had a second mistress, according to this article, and her name is Kathleen Collins, according to this. Betrayal. Chris Hansen with his wife, Mary, the couple have 2 sons together. So not only did he cheat on his wife, but he also had kids with her, so that makes it double insane. Apparently, he was caught on camera, just like his own hidden camera show. A friend told the Inquirer, I know it sounds crazy, but Kathleen really thought she was the only one. So he's just outright lying to women while actively cheating on them. He was cheating with Kristen. Apparently, he was also cheating with this other woman. And here it says his wife, Mary Joan, officially filed for divorce. And they've been married 30 years? My God, how could you do that to someone you've been married to for so long? You'd have to be a fucking monster. There he is. The fucking monster. Great job on your slanderous bullshit content, Discovery Plus.
I cannot think of many other stories involved with the YouTube community that have gotten this much attention, this much energy.
Everyone involved is making money off of this. It's the modern influencer version of TMZ.
Did they just admit that Steven himself is making money, that Chris Hansen's making money, etc.? I just want to make sure that we understand the clear motive here. Remember when I accused Steve Assarch? We're trying to, look, it says, Newsweek reporter tries to exploit Onision's sisters. Remember that? No, you're talking about people who are fucking raped, dude. And you're sitting here making a bank off of it. And you don't give a shit. Well, you're making money. You're talking about people who were violated as children, and you're like, do you think they'd want to talk to me? You just want to you want your next news article on people who were molested as children. You're shitty, dude.
You're really going off on this.
You're saying, oh, Onision he's just making this up. Ooh. Dude, Google yourself. There's multiple women who have already admitted what you did. Let's go next page. Oh, look. Look at all this, dude. There's your mugshot. It says you're cheating on your wife here. It says you're dropped by NBC. It says your crowdfunding thing was a total bust. There's your mugshot again. Oh my God.
He just makes things up. After the allegations were made, my ex-wife, she had petitioned the court to restrict visitation.
Yup. And visitation was successfully restricted, you pedophile.
I knew it wasn't true. She didn't have any behavioral changes at all. There was none of that kind of behavior of distancing.
Jabba the Hutt over here apparently is a child psychologist. JK, last time I checked, she was like a nurse for an industrial company. But she doesn't explain why the person who was violated didn't have to talk to my dad on the phone anymore and didn't have to visit him anymore. And that the only people who were court ordered to see him were the 2 kids that he didn't violate, to the best of our recollection. You want some proof? Okay. You see this photo with someone's face ripped off over here? That's Debbie right there, Debbie Daniel. She is with just my sister and just me. My eldest sister is not in the photo. Over time, that died down a lot. My sister's nowhere to be found. That being said, my middle sister possibly could have been around, but you never see my eldest sister because my eldest sister wasn't court ordered to be involved in my father's life. No one else to be found. Definitely not my eldest sister. Pretty much 99 out of 100 photos taken of me with my sisters in them is around my mom's family or my stepdad's family. That's because my father is a child molester, and the court found they did not need to require my eldest sister to be anywhere near him because she was molested by Randy Daniel. This man right here molested my oldest sister.
We had to pay for a psychiatric evaluation to prove the negative.
Because your eldest daughter to this day hates you, despises you for what you did. You molested her.
Was never ever charged with anything. There was never ever a hearing. There was never ever an investigation.
Yet for some reason, none of your kids talk to you.
I think that Greg has created this false narrative, this false sense of who he is. He has in his mind blurred reality.
Then why did none of your 3 kids talk to you? And why was it court ordered that your eldest of the 3 did not have to talk to you? Did not have to be in your life? Answer that fucking question. Again, applause to Discovery Plus for literally giving an actual pedophile a platform. Good job, Chris Hansen, for being on the same documentary as a pedophile and completely missing the mark.
So what you do...
Shut up! Shut up!
What's going to happen and where's this going to end? What's the final chapter in this?
Yeah, what's going on here? That was called Garden Hugs. What video was that?
Shut up! Shut up!
Wow, that seems pretty bad. We should probably put that in a documentary completely out of context, right? What happens later in this video? We'll just pan ahead a little bit to get the full context. Wow, this looks so angry. Oh wow, look at that.
What are you doing?
Wow, what an abuser. Okay, I'm funny as fuck. That much is obvious. Can you believe they just did that in the documentary? They just did that. This is obvious bro, this is so slander. I could cut it with a fucking knife.
Shut up!
This is not going to end well. There's just no way it does.
She's gonna be so pissed.
I was an entertainer, and so it was kind of normal to me.
And she was in on the head shaving prank too. Shiloh saying, I shaved half my head on my own accord because I wanted to be Skrillex.
Degraded in some sort of way for comedy.
She is out. They're literally framing this like this is real. She's gonna be so pissed. So anyone who sees that thinks, oh my god, this guy really shaved her head without her consent, and yet here she is consenting. I shaved half my head on my own accord because I wanted to be Skrillex. Huh. I'm still wondering how you shave someone's head in the middle of sex. I just don't understand how that's possible. Do you know how sex, like in sex you move a lot. How could you shave someone's head while moving? It just doesn't make any sense. Here's Shiloh saying she made a stupid decision, but she has a fresh start with her hair now. She's trying to look at the positive side. Open your mouth.
No, Greg, I don't want any.
Okay, so they skipped the whole first half of this video, heading only to the end, so there's no context whatsoever. Go to onision.com/Shiloh, and here's the first part of that video, which they left out because it establishes that it's clearly a bit.
So Halloween's coming up, and I wanted to know what you guys are being for Halloween. Greg and I decided that this year we'd go for realism, so he took the scissors to my ear in my sleep. And now I'm bleeding. Yeah, so this documentary being run by scumbags. Of course, they're going to leave out that introduction where she clearly tells a joke about her ear being cut because it's obviously fake blood. And you analyze her hair, you analyze her makeup, you analyze the background. Hey, hair, face, background, it's all the same. It's clearly just right in front of the same blue screen.
You gonna cry, you gonna be super sad. You like all my my life didn't work out how I wanted.
And that's her trying to kiss me after you're laughing. But of course, this documentary will show you only the stuff that suits their narrative and not the stuff they knew about, obviously. Chose not to show you because they wanted to perfect carbon copy fit the definition of slander. This is Patient Zero, aka Shiloh, saying the fake blood was an act. And she said that the underhanded picture says it all. And it says, no one will ever know how much I abuse you.
My life didn't work out how I wanted.
So this is Patient Zero, stone cold lying to you guys about what really happened. Stone cold. But that's Discovery Plus for you. They don't give a fuck about the
His
truth.
videos, he would shoot me.
Is that it? I'm sorry. What? You're right. If you ever pretend to shoot someone in any comedy sketch ever, you're now a predator.
That's not supposed to be there. And I like those odds. I like the fact.
Oh no! Gosh, I guess Sears abused me. That you heard it here, guys. Sear abused me because he shot me in a video. That's the logic of the Discovery Plus documentary and of Shiloh.
That I think he really used me.
Oh my God, did Shiloh just slit my throat in a video? I think we recall earlier her shaming me for shooting her in a video, but now she slits my throat in a video. Let's freak out, you guys.
A lot of his videos, he would shoot me.
Oh, she's slitting my throat, now she's gonna stab me. Wow, if shooting's bad, what is that, Shiloh?
When I came around, because of my career and my status, that I think he really used me.
Wrong. I love just dropping the facts. I made the big bucks when I started being with my now husband. I was way more successful being married to my husband than I ever was with Shiloh, so that's kind of funny that she's that egotistical. I mean, all you have to do is a Google trend search. Right about 2012, right before I dumped Shiloh for the last time, I'm looking at a 5, a 6, a 4 relevance, you know, not very special. And then I get with my spouse, right, my husband, and suddenly, oh my God, as the marriage goes on and on and on, yeah, no, Shiloh was definitely not a significant blip on the relevance radar. My relevance was actually pretty much nothing until Banana Song, and that's when you see a little heartbeat start, and Banana gets me going for a while. So once again, Shiloh's actually a crazy egomaniac. She actually thinks she benefited me financially, despite the fact I just proved she didn't. As I established before, Auto Bro was my most profitable channel, and I didn't start that until right after I dumped Shiloh, according to Wayback Machine. So like I said, my most profitable years were after this succubus terrible person.
I think he was making at least 30 grand a month when I was doing videos with him. I never saw any of that.
You never saw any of my money? Okay. You want to lie? I'll show everyone the money that you actually saw. Okay, so here's an email from Shiloh saying, hey, I have the means to pay you back your money. Please tell me how I'm able to send it. Isn't it funny how much I've proved Shiloh a lying scumbag? I will be sending you a total of $4,000 that covers pregnancy costs, the flight here, and the money you sent me. So I actually sent her money. Thousands of dollars I sent her. And I also, of course, you know, took care of flights to the studio that she went to record in, as I showed you. Hotels that we stayed in while in LA while she was working with the studios. I paid for rent in Canada, food in Canada while she was working at the studio in Toronto. I paid for all the restaurants that we went to after she was recording with the studio, before she was recording with the studio. She's saying that she never saw a dime of that. What a fucking liar. Again, if you go to onision.com/Shiloh, you can read through this whole series of emails, and she actually winds up never paying me. She gives me a fake number for a money transfer. I go to the money transfer place, and the guy says it's fake. She literally, what a fucking joke. So they confirmed it's fake, and I said, blocking you again, you cheating, lying, disgusting scum. So she did make that profit, and she promised to pay me back, but she never did.
I never saw any of that.
That's Shiloh.
If you weren't like me, then you're a piece of shit. You're essentially his thing, his property, his slave.
Okay, check this out. This is what Shiloh actually said right after I caught her cheating on me and getting pregnant with another man's baby. This is after she cheated on me and got pregnant with someone else's baby. At the very bottom, she says, I want you to be happy, and I'm sorry you are hurting. I am truly sorry I hurt you. She will never forgive herself. So that doesn't sound like a victim. That sounds like someone who got dumped for getting pregnant with someone else's baby and actually completely and utterly lied, betrayed, etc. someone. Interesting how her narrative completely changed from her getting dumped for cheating, and now suddenly she's my slave, ?
Slave.
In this mess, she says she looks at my pictures and cries. She still thinks about me. She still misses me. She still calls my phone just to hear my voice, and she still loves me. She says she got jealous because I moved on from her. She says that she loves me so much. And then she says, I expect the worst to come from it, but frankly, I deserve it. This woman is out of her goddamn mind. So if you look at the URL, you can look this up. February 16th, 2012 was right after I found out she cheated on me. Here she admits to cheating on me, but she says it's only emotional, even though she had a baby 9 months later. So look, it's February 16th. Obviously, I gotta blur out the picture because it's her with her baby who died, according to her, of SIDS. Unfortunately, you can't trust her for anything she says, as I've proven repeatedly. Baby was born 11/17/2012. All right, so this person wrote me right after Shiloh cheated, which was on February 8th. They're saying, I'm sorry for Shiloh deceiving you and lying. They say if she ever tries to come back, tell her no. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Same goes with the term once a liar, always a liar. They say they're not even my biggest fan. They can say I'm much better than this. All right, so we have it confirmed that it was before or on February 8th because that's as soon as people talk about it in my email. All right, so the conclusion is 283 days distance, and pregnancy lasts about 280. And that's just the average. You're talking about a person who either hopped in the sack right after or hopped in the sack before. And this is paired with her boyfriend already bragging about having sex with her, which is why I broke up with her in the first place. That facial expression she has, it matches her personality. Good job, Discovery Plus. You got yourself a real winner.
He made sure I had no way to contact the outside world. I wasn't allowed to leave the house.
This is so absurd. If you had no way to contact the outside world, why do you have your own blog that I clearly don't have control over because you kept posting things regardless of whether or not we were actually dating? And you also admitted to cheating on me through your Facebook. How could you have done that if I had complete control over you? None of your statements are making sense.
This guy's really evil and way better than this freak. And when it turns out he's innocent, I'll say, well, he's still a creep. If someone says they're a victim, believe them. Unless the victim is someone we don't like, then they're lying. Only people we like tell the truth. And the people we don't like, we will publicly execute because we're good people.
It's never going to be online, right? No one will ever know how much I abuse you. It's ridiculous that you think you'll be successful. How many times do I have to tell you everything that you want to put online goes through me first?
Nice. So she actually reinvented her memory based on this video where I was dressed as the Joker and we were taking part in a comedy sketch making fun of Joker abusing Harley Quinn. As proven, oh God, hopefully this is the last time I have to prove this. Look at that. Same makeup, same background. I'm actually dressed as the Joker, which makes it even more ridiculous for anyone to take anything I say seriously. Obviously, it's part of a sketch. And I'm doing what now? Look, Shiloh's pretending to be sad. She's pretending to cry. And then what happens with her pretending? Darn it.
You gonna cry? You gonna cry? You gonna be super...
No, Shiloh. The narrative was that I was being abusive. Remember right here? Gosh, look at that. You're pretending to be all sad and stuff. She's pretending to be sad because it's a comedy sketch. And then boom,
you gonna cry?
She literally based her whole narrative, forgetting that there were bloopers out there of her laughing her butt off right after the fact. For the record, our relationship imploded far sooner than almost a year together. Quite a few times. I dumped her numerous times. I dumped her in Toronto. I dumped her back in the States. She did this whole thing.
I'm going to seriously tell everybody what you've done to me.
I haven't done anything to you.
I'm going to destroy you.
Yikes. She said she could just destroy me. That's pretty scary.
Now I actually want to destroy you because you destroyed me. You're done.
Yikes.
And then you'll be left with nothing.
And then the police show up because I called them because she said she was going to kill herself and make it look like I did it.
She said I was on the phone with my Aunt Kelly and she threatened to kill herself, and then I had to call the cops and she said that she was... What did you say exactly? You said it. You said something. You said you were going to make it look really bad or something.
Did you threaten to kill yourself, young lady?
I did.
You did?
I'm not going to deny that.
How come? That's not the. Those aren't the statements of a reasonable person.
Boom. There you go. She admits exactly what I said she did, and then she was hauled away by the police, just like I said she was.
I tried to leave a couple of times, but every single time I did try to get out, he would find a way to stop me.
That's literally not true. Okay, again, listen to what I tell the cops. This is Shiloh at my house. She refuses to leave my house.
But I mean, she refuses to leave, so I don't know.
Well, the only way you can get her out is with an eviction or a court order.
Yeah. So
educated.
Okay. In order for me to continue doing my job, I have to leave here because she's not leaving. Okay. So
nice. Hey, high five, Onision. Yes, I love receipts.
I never thought of going to the police or anything because I thought what was happening was normal.
Okay, why did I call the cops on you 3 times, dude? You never thought to go to the police because you thought everything was normal. I thought everything was fucking crazy, so I called the cops on you. Again.
And she threatened to kill herself, and then I had to call the cops, and she said that she was... What did you say exactly? You said it. You said something. You said you were going to make it look really bad or something.
Did you threaten to kill yourself, young lady?
I did.
You did? How?
Why was it I was the only person who knew how dysfunctional you were, yet only after I break up with you for cheating on me do you suddenly go, oh, now I see the light? Shiloh, think about it. This documentary is about allegedly all these people that I've dated, yet I've only ever called the cops on you, dude. Think about that. Sorry, to be fair, I've also called the cops on Chris Hansen. And you're both on the same show. That's crazy. After you literally said you expect the worst to come from what you've done and you frankly deserve it. After you said that, because I caught you cheating on me, getting pregnant with someone else's baby, you admit that you deserve the worst. You say you still love me even after I dump you. What happened to you describing me as a very good man? What was that? I have realized he is going to help me and he loves me. He's a very good man. Please don't be aggressive towards him. He did the right thing. I don't want a doctor. I just want to be around him and slowly remember my life because you had this made up memory loss thing.
Shiloh? I want to make a rainbow. Shiloh?
Are you serious? Did she just say, I want to make a rainbow? This is the person that they're using as a credible source of information. She's having some episode and saying, I want to make a rainbow.
He exploited the whole situation instead of getting me help.
You literally already admitted on onision.com/Shiloh, which was taken from your blog, that you literally didn't want me to get help and you instructed me not to get you help. Here you are on your blog talking about how before you found me, you had trauma from your last relationship. You said when Greg and I started dating, it was just after I had ended my 4-year relationship. You said you were okay before your ex, you loved yourself, you were happy, and then you basically blamed all your problems on the person before me. But now you're blaming your problems on me, completely forgetting what a 4-year relationship that lasted like 3 times as long as the relationship between you and me. And here you are posting to your own blog about your memory loss, and you talk about, again, this ex-boyfriend who you dated for 4 years, who you said you messed you up. You Skype called Damon Elliott, which, by the way, you said you had no way of contacting the outside world.
He made sure I had no way to contact the outside world.
So I don't know how you would Skype call Damon Elliott if you couldn't contact the outside world like you said. Then you go on to say, please do not be aggressive towards me. He did the right thing. You said you didn't want a doctor and you just wanted to be around me and slowly remember your life. So you are doubling down that you instructed me not to do anything. And yet now I'm to blame because you magically changed your mind.
I felt like he got me and he
Who are you? I don't even recognize this person. Who is that?
understood my problems. It's all about a false connection.
Who is this person? I have no idea who this person is.
I just kind of fell down the rabbit hole after
Who
that.
are you?
Are they predators?
Hold on, Regina. That's who that is because it said her name.
I had little to no contact with Greg.
By the way, this is Shiloh writing me many months after I had moved on from her, many months after she cheated on me and got pregnant with someone else's baby, saying that she's so proud of my video quality and she wants me to live a happy, healthy life. And she gives me a little smiley face, so it seems like it took a little longer than a few months for her to magically change her story about how she felt about me. And I already blocked her on so many accounts, I stopped talking to her before she ever wrote me this email, so it's not like I did anything. Now, here's a music video I made years ago, completely debunking Hansen's asinine speculation that my channels would ever have any interest in targeting minors, as obviously I fucking hate them. That doesn't really match the Chris Hansen narrative, but it's okay. He'll ignore it, just like he ignores the fact that he home-wrecked his own family by cheating on his wife with much, much younger women. Hypocrite. Enjoy.
Oh, looky here, what a sad little squid. Says Onision's audience is just little kids. Hey, guess what, bitch? That's not true. I've got millions of fans, twice as old as you. And smart, too. They actually passed high school. Yeah, assume they're stupid. Man, you're acting like a fool. Blogging and vlogging, look at you constantly hating. You're so obsessed, it's obvious that to my picture masturbating. People wanna hate. People wanna shit. Go ahead and throw a fit. You're just another idiot. People wanna hate. I'm making bitches mad. Go ahead and curse my name. You're just a free ad.
I found out that he was dating a girl.
It's 5:30 a.m. I've been editing a video all night and talking to my new girlfriend. Her name's Adrienne.
Not true. Says Adrienne has lived in fear of Greg ever since she has had a brief relationship when she was 26. If she was always in fear of me, she would not have done the following. This is the email I'm guessing Discovery Plus will never show you. But right after, as you can see in the upper right, it's not long after I dumped Shiloh for the last time for cheating on me, getting pregnant with someone else's baby. She says she owes me an apology up to the upper right. She compares Shiloh in the 3rd paragraph down to her exes who cheated on her. She says she sympathizes with me for what Shiloh did to me. 3rd paragraph down. She says my feelings are not invalid and should not be disrespected or ignored. 3rd paragraph down. 4th paragraph, she says she owes me an apology.
again. She admits I broke up with her, 4th paragraph down. She apologizes again, 4th paragraph down. She says in the 5th paragraph down that we wronged each other equally. Quote, I feel you wronged me as much as you feel I wronged you. 5th paragraph down, she blames how she treated me on her being broken during the time we dated. She defends her treatment of me, 5th paragraph down, saying she had no malicious intent in what she did. Again, 5th paragraph down, she apologizes once more. 6th paragraph down, she wishes me well, specifically that she wants me to be peaceful, prosperous, have a happy existence, she wishes for serenity for me. Right before she says all the best at the bottom, she admits to the wrongdoing that she committed against me. Once again, this is Shiloh writing me many months after I spoke to her for the very last time, talking about how proud she is of me. So it's interesting how her perspective changed so much, despite the fact that we haven't interacted since, implying that she's literally pulling this out of her ass. Anyway, I wrote Adrienne saying all is forgiven, and I said I could have been much more mature the way I handled things, and I was sorry for not being more mature. Adrienne moves on to say that she's moving to Seattle in the next few months, yet here it says that she lived in fear of me. So if she lived in fear of me, why is she telling me that she's moving to Seattle? 3rd paragraph down, she says, I really hope you're well, I really do, you are a good person. But why would she say that the person she lived in fear of is a good person? And this is the last time we had a conversation, so it's not like her opinion would have any valid reason for changing on me, as we had no interactions. She said she wished more people understood me, 3rd paragraph down. She said if I thought it was not inappropriate, I would offer my friendship. Again, this does not reflect someone who's actually afraid of someone. Go on to the very last email she sent me, and she actually said, as I said, if you need someone, and then she gives me her phone number, and she actually is pretty clearly offering her friendship. So again, Discovery Plus publishing an absolute lie. By the way, if you're trying to frame me as someone who's going after people who are young, why are you including a story from someone who's 26? Just a little common sense, your story doesn't add up.
Then I totally facepalmed when I realized I had a crush on this person who I absolutely loved to hate.
Wait, she just admitted she hated me before ever dating me. Who dates somebody that they hate? That's psychotic.
He started making completely asinine statements, such as, if I really loved someone, I would give up everything to be with them.
How is that an asinine statement? That's a wonderful, endearing statement. Bro, you're out of your mind. You date someone you admit to hating, and then you make fun of them for being a loving person.
I want to reiterate that he did not rape me.
I mean, it's nice she said that there was no crime, so that's cool.
And decided that he was too crazy, too maniacal to deal with.
Which is why I broke up with her. I'm confused here. Can you guys get your facts straight? Wait, isn't that abusive? You guys acting like that was abusive earlier. She just shot me on camera. Wow, yikes.
I slipped back into the relationship with him.
And she doesn't mention she actually faked her pregnancy to come back. She was telling me she was pregnant when she really wasn't.
I went back because I was truly convinced that I had some issues to go work out and that I had to go become a better person. I felt very jealous of the other girl that he was with.
You're taking these people seriously? He's so abusive. So I want to get back with him because I was jealous of the girl he was with who admitted to hating him before she ever dated him. But we're the sane ones. Oh my God.
And felt the need to...
Oh my God!
Reclaim
shoot my friend.
My ground.
She felt the need to reclaim her ground, i.e. her territory, i.e. her control over my love life. And they say I'm the controlling one.
He bought me a ticket back to Seattle.
Why would you say Seattle? Your memory sucks, bro. You guys question me all the time, but here's the receipt. She said I flew her to Seattle. No, when she was a grown adult who lied about her pregnancy just so she could get back with me, I flew her to Los Angeles. How do you not even remember the city you flew to? Why is your memory so bad? Here's one of the things she sent me to try to get me to take her back. And I actually think I did call her to check on her, make sure she was okay. Turned out she was lying about that too. Pretty horrible lie if you ask me.
It was overshadowed by the overwhelming fantasy feelings of getting married and having a ring on my finger.
Just so you guys know, this is after her threatening to destroy my life. So after she made this whole video, this whole meltdown video, she decided to get back with me anyway, and she even agreed to an engagement. There's us not having fun together.
She was pregnant with my child, allegedly. You know, at least let people know the truth before this can all be over. I don't want it to all end as if she's somehow the good person in all this.
Right, so they don't include the fact that this woman is accused of sleeping with someone else before she flew back to me, as the timing of her pregnancy was off, which is why I said allegedly that was my seed, because I didn't know for sure, and that's how you feel when people constantly lie to you. When the doula said she was pregnant, she had only been back for 5 or 6 weeks tops, so that's why I question my father's status. This is what happens when you search for it. It says Rogue was the made-up child of Greg and Shiloh, though. They're again referencing probably that photo. The fetus was real, but the Rogue photo was not. So that's again Discovery Plus posting things completely and utterly out of context.
He proceeds to get into public spouts with Shane Dawson, who had massive followings. The pair have a public Twitter dispute.
Did you just leave out that Shane Dawson lost? That Shane Dawson was exposed for who he is?
And she shows me her Instagrams, which are like, first of all, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like, she's like sexy.
What? All you have to do is search Shane Dawson. You got number one, taking accountability. Talking about Shane Dawson's career ending. The whole pedophile thing with Shane Dawson. Jesus. A video called Shane Dawson Lied to Everyone. Shane Dawson Offensive Racist Compilation. Y'all questioned me, but I was right. So to criticize my taking a stance against Shane Dawson, well, it's typical and normal for Chris Hansen to align with the wrong people.
Super soon after, he made like one video towards me that wasn't exactly very nice, and then from there just kind of kept making more and more.
Ah, of course, Eugenia Cooney would pop up. Someone did Photoshop on her and how good she would look if she actually had some pounds on her. That chick needs to eat more food.
Oh no, Onision said that Eugenia needs to eat more food. Ah, let's see who else says that. Katie saying that she has a problem with Eugenia Cooney. Here's iNever saying he has a problem with Eugenia. Here's someone saying that Eugenia is enabling predators. Chris Hansen looks like you might be on the wrong side again. Here's someone saying that Eugenia has descended into darkness. Here's even an anti-O saying that Eugenia was paid to be anorexic on stream. Here's Jacqueline Glenn taking an open stance. She's also an anti-O against Eugenia Cooney. So for you guys to criticize me making videos on Eugenia Cooney is painfully comical. If I'm wrong for that, then we got a lot of other people who have to answer. And apparently Edwin's generation has made a couple of videos about Eugenia Cooney as well.
Her hand and arm are in a position that reminds me of how a body would look if you dug it up months after the person was deceased. And those 100% absolutely look like the legs of someone who just got out of a concentration camp, who had been nearly starved to death.
I just want to say, that's a really good point. Like, here's Debbie White. She died of anorexia. Okay, look at her. December 18th, 2020, this woman with this body, look at her knees, look at her elbows, look at her hands and everything. She died, literally died of anorexia. Now look at Eugenia Cooney. Look at her knees, look at her elbows, look at her chest, how you can see those bones peeking through. Eugenia has the same body as this woman. This woman's only 24. So that woman actually is younger than Eugenia, and she died. So good job to Discovery Plus for enabling a person who celebrates starving yourself. I'm not the only one who finds a problem with it. They say, can we stop promoting anorexia? Please seek help, I'm concerned. This woman could die at any moment from her starving herself, as you see with this woman who's younger and had the same freaking body. Discovery Plus is like, no, this is okay. It's fine. Let's just interview her and not try to help her at all.
I think she's an absolutely fantastic human for all she's had to go through and how she came through on top after enduring so much. And here's my cringy heart.
When I started on YouTube, I never thought that I would receive like as much hate.
I just want to say, I'm so confused. They frame it like I'm against Eugenia Cooney, and then they play clips of me being supportive of Eugenia Cooney. It's like, I don't have to do any work here. You guys just proved my point for me. I say I've been primarily supportive of Eugenia Cooney healing, but also educating of how she's enabling other people to starve themselves. And you guys say that I'm just trying to cash in on Eugenia Cooney and I don't care at all. And then you play clips of me caring. It's so confusing. I can't keep up with this documentary, dude.
And obviously eating disorders are really serious things, and I would try to like put my side out there. Like, no one really wants to listen.
This is confusing because Eugenia Cooney already admitted she has an eating disorder. Like, there was a whole documentary with Shane Dawson on how Eugenia Cooney has an eating disorder, yet in this documentary, she's pretending like there was never a problem and Onision was never right about her. Dude, she was put in rehab. Like, Jacqueline Glenn came out and said that she got Eugenia Cooney put in rehab for the anorexia Onision and numerous other people told you was real. And in this documentary, they're just gaslighting me, acting like I wasn't right the whole time, which I was. Chick went to frickin' rehab.
I stepped away from the internet and did go and get help.
So she admits she did go to rehab in that sense, but she kind of leaves out Jacqueline Glenn essentially forcing her to go to rehab and acts like it was her own decision. Okay, and Onision was right, but how dare he actually make videos pointing out how not okay she was, and then she finally got help because she wasn't okay, just like Onision said. Do you see the problem?
Ever make a video about her ever again? Because there's no reason other than to maybe say she's beautiful.
Wow, Onision said she's beautiful too? You guys are trying to frame me be a monster and then you're playing clips where I'm talking about really good things. I don't get this documentary. It makes no sense.
The reason he stopped wasn't because Eugenia Cooney asked him to. It's because YouTube changed the rules on how monetization works on the platform. YouTube was demonetizing them, so he had no incentive to keep making the Eugenia Cooney video.
Oh, and there's actually Eugenia Cooney. So I literally just dunked on you, dude. 2016 is when they started demonetizing stuff, but a month ago I uploaded a video about Eugenia Cooney. Looks like I wasn't just doing it for money, asshat.
Prides himself on being an honest person. He uses this as sort of a shield against anything that he says that comes off as being a dick. I wish him the best. I hope that he's happy. You know, he's got a beautiful family.
Seems like you're not a very consistent person there. One day hating me, the next day not. Last time I checked, she was hating me again.
Taylor would comment on his Twitter constantly.
Stop dead naming transgender people, assholes.
In her own words, she was fangirling.
Just misgendered Kai as well. Piece of shit.
By December 2012, Greg and Taylor are married, much to the chagrin of Taylor's parents, who don't understand why a man nearly 10 years older than her is marrying her within months of meeting.
That's actually a lie. I'm on very good terms with my in-laws. They were all at my wedding. They all flew across the country to be at my wedding. You're a fucking dumbass. Literally, you can see Kai's dad, Kai's mom, Kai's sister, Kai's stepdad. You can see all those people in this photo. You fucking moron. Why would you so recklessly say people don't support our unity, and yet here they are supporting our unity? You guys are an embarrassment to journalism.
I write the letter and I said no, 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 and no, and no.
This is why a lot of people are afraid to turn on their cameras and post videos to YouTube, because they're afraid of psycho creepy stalkers like you.
Again, you misgender what the actual hell, dead name. And as far as that person writing a letter, here's him admitting to messaging my in-laws as well as apologizing for it. He also apologizes for these videos that he made on me. Of course, the apology for being a creep towards my in-laws. He reasserts his apology at the bottom. That's right, your hero Repsian, admitting he was wrong to me. And this documentary features the dude who was a creep and contacted my in-laws, who are no doubt disgusted by him. What does that have to do with anything? Again, what does this have to do with anything? I just want to say how inappropriate this is. You just brought in a story that has nothing to do with us. Some 38-year-old apparently violated a 13-year-old, and that's included in this documentary. Why? If you go to onision.com/Sarah, you have Sarah states Onision did not groom her. Sarah denies anyone had a plot to be with her, and it goes on and on. Sarah admits nothing happened to Onision before she was an adult. Sarah again states nothing happened before she was an adult. Sarah admits to sexually extorting Onision. Sarah does it again. Sarah admits the only relationship she had with Onision occurred just before turning 19. Sarah admits that Onision obeys the law and does not break it. Sarah swears on her grandmother's life she was not groomed. Sarah admits Onision would kick her out if she tried to be anything but platonic friends when she was not an adult.
Was going to kill me. It wasn't a question of if, it was a question of when.
What the fuck does this have to do with me, and why is this in a documentary with my name on it? A girl gets kidnapped, she thinks she's gonna be murdered. What does that have to do with me?
I think Greg and Kai found vulnerable victims.
Oh, okay. So they used the chick to just speculate that she thinks in her feelings of feels that we're bad people. Lit. Very credible.
They became friends. And then they took away their power.
The literal fuck are you talking about? I challenge this woman and everyone else watching this to do just the slightest, most laziest level of research humanly possible. Watch Sarah confess exactly what she did, both through text and video, and you'll see that you're actually all absolutely full of shit. And she even said at one point that basically everyone who says she can't do what she wants as an adult should go fuck themselves. Right here. Sarah defends her sleeping with whoever she wants as an adult through text. And these texts make it painfully obvious. Painfully. Yet you guys decide to blatantly ignore it so you can cash in on a fraudulent hashtag #MeToo thing with literally no actual victims. This narrative doesn't match whatsoever. In 2012, Kai was primarily 17, correct? So you're talking about allegedly a 17-year-old with an alleged 15-year-old. First time I saw her was on the Chris Hansen documentary. Okay. So they admit Kai's never even met this psychopath.
I initially lied to Lainey about my age. And then, like a month later, I came clean about it.
I think she's talking about telling Kai that she is 19 and then confessing that she's 15.
I was 15 and I told her I was 19.
That's funny. I just said I was speculating and it turns out I was right. Okay, so we've already established that this chick will literally lie. Lie stone cold to your face. Okay, got it. She's a liar. Go on, self-confessed liar.
There was talk of me coming to visit Lainey. I asked my mom
if I can go, and she said, I don't know these people, I'm not comfortable with that.
First of all, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. As I said, I couldn't even identify her in a fucking lineup before the Chris Hansen show went down. Wasn't sure why she was on. But she's talking about this visit. Again, this is completely news to me. But once more, even if anyone were to visit us, which I don't know why she would, because the only reason Sarah ever lived with us for a few months was because she said her own mom beat her, and we were trying to give her safe haven from her mom's beatings. On this Onision page, you have Sarah stating that literally nothing happened until she sexually extorted us, which was when she was well beyond the age of adult status. So again, people create this phobia like there's some kind of child predatory thing here, and that's called slander, because you have the only person who could possibly frame us like that admitting that we didn't do anything. So what is your excuse for this gross, disgusting, unforgivable level of lying about human beings who did nothing wrong to children, who did nothing illegal or immoral or anything like that? What the fuck is your guys' excuse for this disgusting, life-ruining bullshit that you're spreading? That's what I want to know, Discovery Plus.
I want to tell myself that when you're 17 and you get kicked out of your house and you're standing in the middle of the road on your phone, crying, not knowing where you're going to go next, Kai's not going to care.
He and Kai decided that everyone in their life needed to sign an NDA, and that I was no exception to that. The NDA was 1,000% for me to not do what I'm doing right now.
Okay, so Sarah just admitted that she lied on an alleged legally binding contract. So she's established that she's a liar, and she's also reinforced what she already admitted to on onision.com/Sarah, where she admits to committing a felony of sexual extortion.
The NDA or whatever, like, he brought it up, and I was like, I don't really want to do it. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, we're just having everybody sign one. Like, like, okay, well, haha. Well, I want a clause in there that says, like, if I, like, sign, I want something I'm actually signing for. Like, you know, I basically was like, oh, you know, only if we do stuff will I sign the papers. It was a fucking joke.
So what she does there is outlines that she committed a felony. Scroll to this one, and again, she doubles down on her admission of guilt.
Yeah, basically he was like, yeah, you didn't sign it. I made jokes about not signing it unless I got something out of it, got what I wanted.
Yeah,
and even if I was being serious, like, okay.
You didn't force yourself on them.
I don't think you could. Like,
sexual extortion right here. A person who commits the offense of sexual extortion is with the purpose to coerce another person into engage in sexual contact or sexually explicit conduct. The person communicates a threat to damage the property or harm the reputation of another person. So that is what Sarah did. That is what Sarah admitted to. So going on this saying you're the victim when you literally committed a felony, it's painfully ironic.
To be honest, I feel like Kai and I were both pressured into it the first time.
To be honest, I feel like Kai and I were both pressured into doing it the first time, yet here she admits to literally sexually extorting us, literally pressuring us into doing it with her. So which Sarah is the lying Sarah and which Sarah is the one telling the truth? Because this is what Sarah said actually happened the first time.
I made jokes about not signing it unless I got something out of it, got what I wanted.
Yeah,
and even if I was being serious, like, okay.
You didn't force yourself on them.
I don't think you could. Like,
all right, so again, you have to ask yourself which Sarah is lying, because she just admitted to sexual extortion, but then she says the first time that she was pressured. How can you say that someone pressured you into doing something if it took sexual extortion from you and your own admission to get them to do what you wanted? You understand how this makes no sense? That's how lies work. They don't add up.